What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Wings of Redemption. And today we're going to talk about some zombies. Zombies! Need some brains in this motherfucker.
Yeah, buddy. Zombies. This is like the hottest topic in the world now is zombies.
Yeah, zombies. I mean, The Walking Dead's so big. You got Nazi zombies coming out here in about 2 weeks. You got...
Everything is zombies, dude.
You know what sucks? George Romero still can't make a good zombie movie since like 1970.
Dude, you know what? I have to say just right off, my favorite zombies are from 28 Days Later.
The 28 Days... yeah, technically they are zombies.
They are. They're technically zombies. Well, I don't know. I guess that you sort of have to go into what's the definition of a zombie. I mean, I guess they would have to be undead, which I guess would make 28 Days Later variety not a zombie, because they're still alive.
Yeah, they have rage.
They have a virus, and then they go hungry and die, right? So I guess those aren't zombies.
Correct.
They act like it.
They have zombie traits.
Yeah, they're
What's your favorite zombie scene in a movie?
My favorite zombie scene in a movie? Shit, I want to say... I want to say something in Evil Dead. Wasn't there zombies in Evil Dead?
There was the zombie chick that he like hit.
Yeah, the one, and then he's like stomping on her head, and then the eyeball flies out and goes in somebody's mouth. I think that was
that was a zombie. Yeah, that's Henrietta. Yeah. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul.
Yep, that's gonna be my pick.
You want Henrietta in the basement in the fruit cellar.
Yeah, dude.
I buried her in the earthen fruit cellar. My favorite zombie is the one from the remake of Dawn of the Dead, where the bitch gets out the window, she starts driving her car, and this guy just starts running after her, and he like sees somebody else watering their lawn, and he eats them.
Easily distracted by a tasty treat.
Yeah.
Zombies have just taken off, though. It's weird. Like, I mean, it's all over TV, it's all over video games. Like, just think of all the video games in the last 5 years that have had zombies in it.
Well, people, we talked about this earlier. We talked about this last week on this. People are scared to try something new. People like zombies. Let's put zombies in them. I'm surprised Left 4 Dead 3 hasn't came out yet.
It works. So, what are your favorite video game zombies? My
favorite video game zombies? Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say Resident Evil zombies.
Like, I used to love playing Resident Evil 1 and going through and just reading the stuff about how the zombie project failed.
Yeah.
And how they would be they're living in their dorms and clumps of skin falling off their back and stuff like that. And how their foot started itching and you had to start dragging it.
The whole Umbrella backstory is pretty genius. How about those, the scariest moment I ever had in gaming was from zombie dogs, those Dobermans in Resident Evil 1. Do you remember in the beginning you're walking down that hallway and they come crashing through the window?
The window, yeah. They did that shit again in 2 with the arms near the police.
Oh, yeah, and the boards.
Come through oh my God, I jumped out of my damn skin.
I got so scared because, I played Resident Evil 1, this is when it first came out. It was 96, I think?
98.
PlayStation. No, that was number 2. Resident Evil 1 was, I think it was...
you're right, because it came out 96, 97.
Yeah,
but on the beginning of the game it says 98 in the little crappy intro movie.
Yeah, I was I was on vacation from work and I played the game for 8 hours, but I had sat down and there was nothing like that in gaming up to that point. But when those zombie dogs came through, I literally jumped out of my chair, was scared shitless.
Yeah, that music,
and then it was all fast paced, and you're running around trying to aim your gun at him, and they
didn't have auto aim back then either.
Yeah, it was so clunky trying to make him move around and shoot those things, and that was my favorite zombie.
You remember the first time you see the snake? Or
shit, no. How about the hunter?
Oh, the hunter.
The first time you see that. When they show it running up to the house?
Yeah, and he jumps up the damn little elevator thing there and he's like, Clong. He's like, holy shit.
You need to get some Magnum bullets.
Oh man, I always save my Magnum for the Tyrant.
Yeah, he was pretty scary
I remember I got stuck on Resident Evil 1 in the house for ever when I was a little kid. And, I didn't realize there was a garden section back there, and I realized there was a section, but I never could figure the puzzle out where you had to put the baby to the old man. and then the end of life at the end of it. So I didn't realize that was a puzzle.
It's weird how zombies have changed, like in that regard, because now the zombies that you see in games now, it's more kind of comical and funny, and it's not. I mean, other than Resident Evil or maybe Silent Hill or those type of games, like zombies aren't really there to scare you anymore. They're just kind of these silly things that run at you and you blow their head off.
Yeah, just like it's almost like shooting a person that doesn't make you feel bad for shooting a person.
Yeah, it's just a stupid zombie. You make a train and then you run them around and then you blast them to hell.
I like the old Resident Evils.
Dude, I would love to go back and play those again someday, but anyway, so zombies, like, let's talk about like the feasibility of zombies. Now, I would say that the what they did with 28 Days Later in that movie was really cool because it's sort of, you could see that happening, like some sort of virus that would make people crazy and want to eat other people, and what would make them want to eat somebody else? Well, if they get mad
crashing.
enough. Yeah, how about that? Like zombies, an outbreak of zombies because unemployment went above like some magical number. Like, once you go over 43% unemployment, people start eating each other.
You got to question it though. Like, how hungry do you got to be before you start looking at your neighbor like, yep, he should have ran more. He's got a lot of tasty meat on those thighs.
Oh, well, I mean, I can guarantee you that in a collapse of society scenario, and we often end up going back to this, but you damn right there's going to be cannibalism.
People's morals are going to go out the window. Like, all right, I could have this guy and have to feed him, or I could shoot this guy and eat him, and everybody in the family's happy.
Yeah, I mean, people will be rounded up and farmed, basically.
You'd have people in like barns, like hanging up by their ankles, just getting taking meats off the leg and cooking them up.
Did you see that movie, The Road?
No, I'm reading the book though.
Shit, dude, in the book, The Road, or the movie The Road, they actually address this. Something happens and society collapses or whatever, and so this guy and his son, they're basically just roaming around and they're trying to avoid these bands of people that are basically rounding up people for food. And they come across this house, and they go in the basement, and there's just like people locked up in there, and they're basically just keeping them in there to eat. Yeah,
and you have them fuck too. Like, oh, you've been good for a while, you get to fuck, so we can have food for later.
Tasty baby. Yeah. Nasty. But people would definitely quickly resort to cannibalism. I mean, it wouldn't take much to make people say, it's pretty tasty. Little plump action over there.
You ever do the sick thing of actually feeding a chicken?
Yeah, there's something fucked up about that, isn't there? Like feeding an organism one of its own.
Yeah, that's the only one you can do it and get away with it. You can't just grill up a dog and be like, "What's up, Spike? You want something good? You've been a good boy."
I would have no problem eating human flesh if it came down to it.
I wouldn't either. Give me some fucking A1 sauce.
Yeah, put some garlic on it.
How would you cook your human thigh?
I would braise it. I would braise it in garlic and wine, and because if you braise it, you'll tenderize it, and because I would think that most human meat is probably kind of tough. This is sick. This is fucking. Wait a minute! Stop. This is sick. This talk is going to places.
I was about to bring Albert Fish into it.
Well, I don't want. I can't believe I just answered that question. Ugh, I need to go take a hot shower or something.
Right? Remember Albert Fish?
No, who's that?
He was like an old man that would kill little kids and eat them.
I'm glad I didn't.
I remember reading his book, and his book says he ended up getting this little girl. He came to this guy's house. He had to put an ad in the paper looking for a strong man to work on his farm. And he came to this guy's house, and he talked about the little boy maybe working for him, whatever. And they had a little girl there, and he instantly fell in love with that little girl. And he thought to himself, man, I have to eat her. And so he convinces her parents to let him take her to a birthday party.
What an asshole.
But that birthday party ends up being like an abandoned house, so he takes all his clothes off, and he ends up cutting her head off, and he drains the blood of her body out in the paint cans and stores them in the closet. And he talks about how he ate her butt first because it was tender.
Okay. Well, what we say for our serial killer series?
The serial killer. Serial killers are fucked up people.
Yes, they are. But, let's go.
How do we get this Albert Fisk from zombies?
Let's go back to zombies. Well, we started talking about cannibalism and eating people, but I was saying, like, what is the feasibility of zombies?
Yeah, your microphone's really low right now. Can you do something about it?
Hello. Damn the internet.
Yeah, your internet's failing.
That's all right. Why don't you talk for a minute?
Well, shit. Zombies itself. I don't know why the zombie phenomena took off. Because obviously zombies always been in the video games. You have Resident Evil, you have Left 4 Dead, Nazi zombies came in. The Nazi zombies, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Nazi zombies came from a movie called Shockwaves.
When was that?
It was 1988, if I'm correct, but don't quote me on that year. It was an 80s movie.
Don't worry, somebody will correct you.
Don't worry, yeah, a Wikipedia warrior.
Somebody will get mad.
But Nazi zombies came from a movie called Shockwave. Which Shockwave was basically, I don't know if you ever see Death Ship. That's another one of my favorite movies from the 80s. But Shockwaves takes place on a Nazi, warship that's derelict. Mm-hmm. Like, their boat ends up crashing on the ocean, and they on the raft, they find this old ship that looks abandoned. And it ends up being a Nazi warship. And the warships where they did all their testing and all their experimenting on prisoners and slaves and Jewish people. And there's Nazi zombies in the ship itself.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and you got zombies wearing all that stuff like that right there. That's where the Nazi zombies came from.
Oh, yeah, I thought that those were created for Call of Duty. But as far as gaming goes, doesn't it seem like... I mean, what's the origin of that phenomena? Like, was it the original World at War zombies when it exploded, and now you have
I don't think there's been Nazi zombies besides World at War.
Well, no, I just mean zombies in general, because now, every fucking game that comes out is zombies in it. You got Left 4 Dead, you got what was it? What was that other one? Dead Island or something? Dead Island, I think.
Wolfenstein had Nazi zombies in it.
Did it? The remake did, right?
Return to Castle Wolfenstein, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the original Wolfenstein.
Shockwaves was 1977, and then 1981 had Nazi zombies, and there's an Oasis of zombies had Nazi zombies.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is was it the Call of Duty World at War zombies that started the whole fad of having zombie video games?
Yeah, Call of Duty World at War was the
beginning of it, right?
Was the beginning of the Nazi zombie movement for video games.
And now it's everything is just zombies, because Lollipop Chainsaw, right?
Dead Island, sequel.
Left 4 Dead, DayZ, Call of Duty, it's just zombies all over the place.
Why don't they do it with other stuff that's actually cool?
Oh, you're gonna piss off the zombie demographic now. Be careful.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me think about this. They do vampires, and they do it really shitty.
Yeah, they never do vampires right.
Vampires never get done right. Vampires get stronger as they age.
Twilight.
They don't glitter.
They don't shine in the sunlight.
They don't shine in the sunlight. They fucking burn in the sunlight.
They don't pout. Vampires do not pout and sulk.
Here's the thing about the Twilight. Why is he working so fucking hard scoring a chick that might be a 6?
She's not even hot, right?
Yeah, she might be a 6, and he's working his ass off for it. Vampires, I know, were suave and debonair, and the bitches just flock to him.
She's just bummed out and biting her lip and just
Yeah, I mean, you have 5 centuries to pretty much solidify your game, and this is the best you could pull.
I don't know. Misery loves company, I guess.
And how the fuck does she get a werewolf coming at her at the same fucking time?
Yeah, I know. Lucky her. Well, I'm proud to say that I didn't watch those. I
haven't watched them either, but I watched the first one with Shalene.
I watched the first one. I admit it. Yeah,
I didn't watch the whole thing. I made it to the part where he's like, "You wouldn't like me. You don't know what I am."
Oh.
And then he's all fast and shit, and all of a sudden he's in the sunlight, he's glittering and glowing.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, you're a bass boat, huh?"
Zombies should come after him.
Rednecks should come after him because rednecks like glitter finishes. Think about it. A beer can has a glitter finish. A bass boat has a glitter finish. Things rednecks like.
What else? Tilt-a-whirl?
Tilt-a-whirl.
The cars on a tilt-a-whirl? Those have a glitter finish, don't they?
I wonder if you took a shit and it stayed there until it's daytime, would this shit glow like glitter?
His shit is immortal. Yeah.
It's part of it's living essence. Like, is the bacteria inside of him immortal too?
Do they eat? Do zombies? Let's go back to zombies.
Yeah, do zombies shit? Do they have a reproductive
system? Do they
system?
take a shit?
Yeah.
Or what do they? Yeah. What do they? Or do they just throw it up? Because isn't that one of the big things zombies do? They like to projectile vomit. So maybe they just eat and then they.
I don't know if you remember the night of the what was that shit called? The Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
That's Night of the Living Dead is the movie. There's like a funny movie spoof of it called Return of the Living Dead.
Okay.
And Return of the Living Dead, they actually cut a zombie's head off and it talks to him. And they ask it, why does it eat brains? And they said, brains make it feel better.
There's those silly zombies again. I like the scary ones. When's
the last time you see a scary zombie movie, though? Like, Return of the Living Dead actually had a scary zombie in it.
Yeah, I'd have to go back to 28 Weeks Later. Did you see that?
I've seen them both in theaters.
Dude, that movie was fucking creepy. When he kissed his wife and the character there, like his wife was like immune and she had like an immunity to it. Mm-hmm. And then he met up with her and kissed her and got the virus, but he was locked in a room with her and she was like belted down to the table and he basically just started like ripping her face off and punching her, and that was fucked up to watch. That was actually made me uncomfortable. Those zombies though, the way they run and they're like wow, they're all fast and crazy.
I like the scenario. Remember in the first movie where they actually got the guy that has like the stairs barricaded and he was like police riot gear? I like that kind of scenario.
Right.
Like when they do the new zombies, I was always hoping for like a Night of the Living Dead farmhouse level. Mm. Just imagine that.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Just all the weapons on the level were like double barrel shotguns and like lever action rifles or some shit.
Yep. Or big ass revolvers.
Why hasn't somebody made a standalone Nazi zombie game yet?
Oh, I'm sure there's 19 in development as we speak.
I don't know.
Zombies for days.
Anything else you got to add on zombies?
I think I've had enough of them. I think we need to change them or move on.
I do too. Like,
I think it's going to wear out soon because it's being like pounded into the ground now. I mean, there's so many zombie games, and zombies is a tradition now with Treyarch games, which is cool. But I think as far as all these other titles that are coming out, where it's like get with your friends and beat up zombies, like. I don't know how long that can last before people start getting bored with it. The shelf life's got to be getting pretty close.
Well, look at Resident Evil series. They did away with zombies altogether.
Right. Yeah, they're not even anything like they used to be. They lumbering around. I mean, I think 3 was probably the last time they had those, right?
I'll tell you what I'd like to see. Zombie elephant.
A zombie elephant? Zombie animals?
Yeah, zombie elephant. Zombie tiger.
Zombie tigers. There you go. Zombie Sasquatch.
Yeah, zombie Bigfoot. How about have a Resident Evil with zombie Nessie that you got to fight?
Well, there was something like that in
Part 4, yeah.
4, that thing in the lake there.
Yeah, see, that was a cool part of 4, though.
That was a pain in the ass. I had to do that like 15 fucking times.
That was cool as shit, though.
Oh, man, I was getting so mad at that level.
But see, that's the kind of stuff I like when you actually got to fight these unique monsters in like these zombie games. That's why I like Resident Evil 6. You get to fight these unique monsters.
Yeah.
Why don't they have like unique zombies? Well, they kind of do in Black Ops, but like, why don't they have like zombie boss battles, like where you got to fight like a zombie Loch Ness monster and shit?
Yeah, that's a good idea to have zombie like bosses. I mean, they had the Romero one in the last Black Ops one, but I don't know. I mean, the Black Ops 2 zombies does look pretty cool. It does look like it's going to be pretty.
It looks like it's going to be more eerie, like it's actually set in like in abandoned cities and stuff.
Yeah, right. Like the scenery is a lot scarier looking. Now their eyes are glowing, and
I never liked the whole like comedy part of the Nazi zombies. Like, oh, get to the Juggernaut.
Yeah, right. The voiceovers that they do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. But that's the thing, though. Like I was saying before, is like at some point, but I guess it's because of the origin of zombie movies. It's kind of hard to take them seriously. But there's something with comedy connected to zombies now. But I would prefer, if you're going to do zombies, to have it be more creepy and scary. But it's just
here's one thing else I want to stress before we do this. This is Romero, right? In the first film, you have the black guy with the white girl. And the black guy says they're weak. They can't really tear a board down. They're very weak. But in like Day of the Dead, they rip a guy apart.
Okay.
Are zombies supposed to be weak or strong?
Yeah, right. That is actually a pretty good point. Like, if they're so strong, then why can't they walk faster than 0.2 miles an hour?
They're supposed to be dead, so their muscles supposed to decay. They're supposed to not have very good hand-eye coordination.
Right.
Why the fuck is like how did they rip a guy apart in some movies?
Yeah, it would be pretty hard. It's pretty hard to rip somebody's arm off, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's very hard to rip somebody's arm off. You pull them to the ground most likely before you rip it off.
Yeah, you'd have to,
Yeah, I don't like that. It's the same bullshit as like when they blow a car up in a movie. Cars don't usually go up in a big ball of flames.
No, they don't.
And like I watched The Happening just a while ago, and the guy's in the lion's den, and he tries to pet the lion, and it bites his arm off. Lion ain't gonna do that.
Lions don't do that shit, sucker.
I mean, an alligator might, but that's because he bites it and rolls with it and rips it and just destroys the sinew and all.
The death roll.
The death roll. But I think that's all we got for zombies this week. It's been your boy Wings of Redemption. Make sure you check it out in the description below. Peace, people. God, that's a good Resident Evil one. Alright, let me go back.